Well, 2 weeks we've had guest hosts coming in. And today it's a surprise guest host. We haven't teased or said he was coming. Probably mostly for safety reasons. We don't want him to... Hey,
For sure.
Yeah. Bring him on in here. Here is our guest host today. There he is, Todd Chrisley. Come on, my friend. Come over here. You're part of the crew today. You get to sit over there in the friend chair. I told everyone as you were walking up that we didn't tell anyone you were coming because safety reasons. You would get mobbed. We don't want. Well,
I don't know about that.
We don't want all the paparazzi out front. Finally, have big stars in the building. How are you, dude?
I'm good. How are you?
You know, you and I were talking on Instagram yesterday on DM.
Yes.
I didn't even know you were going to come in until late last night, and they were like, Todd's coming in. I was like, I would have talked to him about that. We were just talking yesterday.
I didn't know it either until late.
Yeah, until late last night?
Yes.
Yeah. How you been?
I'm good.
So when you wake up in the morning in that fancy house with that fancy life and those cameras everywhere, like, what does Todd Chrisley eat for breakfast? Because I picture, like, what's the fancy oatmeal called, Amy, that you eat? It's
Like
called
steel cut?
Steel cut.
No, it's even fancier. It's like
Fancy, you mean fancy yogurt? Like a parfait?
what do you eat for breakfast, Todd?
I don't eat breakfast.
Of course. Of course. So what do you do? We wait until lunch?
I wait until lunch, and I normally have something that's probably not good for you. It's either pizza or Mexican or Hattie B's.
Really?
Yeah.
You?
I do.
So why do you skip breakfast? You just never been a breakfast person, or you're just saving up for the lunch?
Never been a breakfast person.
okay.
Never been a breakfast person.
What's it like to have your life
Um,
out there all the time?
I say to the kids every day that we signed up for it. So, you get a check for it, so you sold your privacy. Do I think that we get compensated for everything that we go through? Probably not. But, I don't believe that there's anything that we've gone through or that we've had to deal with that has not made us stronger.
And do you guys have closed-door meetings about what you will and won't share? Is that ever something?
No. If you're doing it, then I'm going to put it out there.
And
wow.
How
He's
often
gonna...
do you wear these mic packs? Like, because sometimes you just forget that you're being recorded.
I think you forget that you're being recorded until you're reminded that you're being recorded. And then once that happens to you, normally it should only take you one time. And, if the kids are doing something or saying something or there's something going on with one of them and they give me a look, then I unplug the mic and we go into a room and we discuss it.
Okay. So there are unplug your mic.
Yes.
You give them the look.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Todd Chrisley's here. He's going to hang out with us for an hour. Todd, we've been doing this game for here's what happened, Todd. A lot of my friends in radio, they have a lot of money to give away as a prize.
Right.
So they do this thing called the secret sound and they give away $1,000.
Right.
We don't have $1,000. So what I had was my own cash. We're now up to $11. We started at $5. And every time someone misses it, instead of going up, we 100, we go up 1.
Right.
So this is the secret sound. I'm going to put on a call or two. Let's go to Danielle in Alabama. Danielle, you're on with the Bobby Bones Show and today Todd Chrisley. How are you, Danielle?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
It's Daniel. That's a different.
Hey, Daniel.
Daniel, how are you,
How
dude?
y'all doing? Good, man. How y'all?
I'm pretty good. We're going to play you the secret sound. Todd Chrisley's in here. He's going to listen to, and you guys can talk about what you think it is together, okay?
All right.
All
Sounds
right,
good.
here we go. Here's the secret sound. All right, Todd, what do you think that is?
My ex-wife.
I was about to say it sounds like an X to me. But
Daniel,
That's funny.
what do you think that is for $11? You win this.
sounds like some hyenas or something like that.
A hyena. So far, we've had a bunch of birds, a crazy baby, a woman sneezing, a fox, and a dolphin. Those are all guesses. He's
What do you
guessing
think,
hyena
Todd?
for $11. What's up, Daniel?
I was going to say, what do you think, Todd?
Daniel, it sounds like birds.
A bunch of birds has already been guessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you going to go with the unorthodox pick of birds again, where it might have come back to birds? Like, that's not going to be your pick, right, Todd? You're not telling him to do that?
Yeah, I think we're going to pass on the bird.
Listen, I don't know. Let's just go with whatever you decide, Daniel.
Daniel?
What do you say? Hyenas? I got my sons in the car with me. Hyenas? We're going to go with hyenas.
Okay, he's going to go with hyenas. Is it a hyena? It is not, Daniel. Appreciate that. Hey, shout out to your sons who are in the car with you right now.
Hey, I got two sons that Holler at him.
Good morning, buddy.
Daniel Jr.
I got Hunter and Hudson in here with me, and also my wife loves the Chrisley show. So my wife's a big fan.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel, have a good day, bud. Sorry you didn't win. I hope that you can get by without getting that $11. If you really needed that $11, I would give it to you.
I think I can do it.
All right, bud.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
See you later.
Bye.
Hey, Todd, what happened as far as the tornado when it came through? Did it get near you?
It did not. I woke up the next morning and all this stuff was going on, and I had never heard anything.
Yeah,
And-
us too. Me too.
Yeah, we just didn't hear anything. And my daughter Savannah, who lives downtown, she could see from where she lived the tornado actually, coming that way. And then the next morning, we have a lot of our crew and stuff that lives in East Nashville, and so we had to stop filming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they had to wait and find out, where everyone was. And then later on that afternoon, we went and toured the area and started, putting together supplies and stuff, to take them to this church. And I was there at this church, and this guy said, I'm delivering stuff for Bobby Bones. It's Victory Church or something.
Oh, yeah. No, I put on my Instagram. Yeah. I just put on there, hey, Victory Church, Mount Juliet? Is
Yes,
that where you
Mount
were?
Juliet.
Yeah, I was like,
Yep.
go here. They can use water.
Yes.
Oh, good. That was awesome. As a
Yep.
listener, just,
Yep. He said, I'm delivering water for Bobby Bones.
I love that.
And I said, good.
That's so cool.
yeah, we always feel like we're an extension of our listeners and they're an extension of us. And so to hear stories like that, because I was out delivering stuff too, driving around, and I would see people in our shirts, the Pimp and Joy shirts, and they didn't see me, or there was just so much happening around. It wasn't like fun, but they were just wearing it and working. And I was so proud to see kind of that message and, and us trying to be like them and them trying to be like us.
I mean, I think that, when you strip it down, we're all the same. And, to know that my kids were at Costco buying, I think Costco limited them to 5 cases of water, and Savannah's buying diapers and all this stuff. And she's just going down the street, putting them on people's doorsteps. I thought, you know what, this is what it's about. This is community, and this is, looking at, as a parent, when you see your kids doing this, you're like, okay, well then they did hear one thing. They got one thing out of this raising.
Amy and I both have on Pimp and Joy shirts today, and we just put them on accidentally. We showed up today and we're like,
Oh, we didn't plan it, yeah.
you are me. I am you. and yesterday we said on the air, hey, we're going to put these on, and we don't keep any of the money. And yesterday for tornado victims, just from the shirts and the hoodies, we made $45,000. So if you guys are listening now and you're from afar, you can be listening to us in Boston or Bakersfield, California, or Maine. We have a lot of listeners everywhere, Tampa. And you're like, man, I wish I could help. You can, because we're cutting the checks quick and sending them out.
Yeah.
So if you go to bobbybones.com, we have all of our Pimp and Joy stuff, T-shirts to hoodies to whatever, and the money goes right to the tornado and helping out there. So, Todd Chrisley, you can hang out with us, right? You're not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
All
I'm
right.
not leaving.
Todd makes me nervous. Funnier than I am. I'm like, oh boy, I got to turn it up a little
I
bit.
know,
over
that
here.
ex-wife thing was
I
quick.
know. Is that what's the guy doing? The writing jokes?
On his toes.
Go home and write jokes all
He
night.
didn't even know that was coming.
If you want to hop in and jump on the phone, you can. 877-77-Bobby. Todd Chrisley from Chrisley Knows Best. Hey, let me ask you this. I got a text here. They say, are you shooting right now, Todd?
We are shooting right
Okay.
now, shooting season 8.
Are you
Wow.
taping or on hiatus?
crazy.
Season 8.
We are taping, yes.
All right, we will come back here with Todd Chrisley on the Bobby Bones Show. Our guest host today is Todd Chrisley. Hey, growing up, Chrisley, like that, there's all these shows now, Todd. I can't even keep up with them. Every time I look, it's a Chrisley commercial. So, Todd, there's Chrisley Knows Best.
Right,
There's Growing Up Chrisley.
right,
There's the Chrisley podcast.
right. Chrisley Confessions.
It's just too many.
Wow.
Lots of.
Right,
So, first was Chrisley Knows Best.
right.
Okay, so how did that even get started? Like, how do you get a show on about your family?
I had a friend that she was in production, and she kept saying, you guys need to have a television show. You need to have a television show. And I said, no, we're not interested in doing that. And she needed to present something to her company that she was working with to kind of justify that she was still getting a check. And she asked, could she do a sizzle reel? And I didn't know what that was. And so we agreed to let her do that, never thinking anything was coming from it. And she shot the sizzle reel over 4 days. And then about 6 weeks later, I get a phone call from the head of All 3 Media, and Adam Greener was his name. And he said, we have presented this sizzle reel to 9 networks, or to 10 networks. We have 9 offers.
And why do you think that is? Because of your personality, because of the family dynamic? Because did you have some sort of heritage that people would?
No. I just think that it's just where God intended for us to go. We never had any idea that it was going to get to where it is today. And, we're in 8 seasons. I mean, right now we're approaching 180 episodes. And we film 44 weeks out of the year.
Wow, that
my
much,
gosh.
huh?
Yeah, we film 44 weeks out of the year. And, we do 26 episodes a season for Chrisley Knows Best, and then 8 episodes of Growing Up Chrisley. And so who would have thought that it would have ever taken off the way that it has? And, we're blessed to be where we are.
So what were you doing for work before you were Todd Chrisley?
Real estate development.
And what kind of, like, fancy big houses or like?
Listen, we had developments.
Listen, he's about to say something. He's like, whoa, listen here.
Here's how it was.
We had, what had happened was, we had homes from $300,000 to $3 million that we developed. And I had been doing that for probably 15 years.
What's it like to sell a big $3 million house?
I think that I didn't sell. I designed and developed and handled the platting out of the neighborhoods and what have you. But I don't know that there's any difference. I mean, a house is a house to me, and I want every person that's ever bought a home that we did to be happy in that home and to love it. And I go back and look at some of the homes that I designed, and those homes are still going up in value. And you look at things online and you see that I sold this home 10 years ago, and they've put it back on the market, and it's still exactly the same way that it was when they bought it. So, I think that, my life has fairly been blessed, Bobby.
So your trade was designing houses.
Building and design, yes.
And you started doing that in college?
Started doing that when I was 20 years old. I started buying foreclosures and renovating them and flipping them.
Oh, wow. You were like flipping before flipping
I was flipping
cool.
before flipping was cool, exactly.
So are you calling out the Property Brothers right now for being crappy?
I'm friends with both of them,
Okay,
so
I'm
if
we
good
have a
with
feud
that.
here, I'm into it. Tabby in Tennessee, you're on with Todd Chrisley, who is our guest host today. Hi, Tabby.
Morning, studio.
Morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Chrisley, I just wanted to say how wonderful you are as a parent and the way that you raise your kids to be so confident and so just not apologetic. It's wonderful. And sometimes your little one-liners are so meaningful, I don't even think you realize how apropos they are.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Do you ever sit at home and write a few of these one-liners and just see where to come up?
Again, it all goes back to God. I mean, when things happen, it's just like that response is there for me. And I think growing up, in the rural part of the South, I grew up with parents that worked in a textile factory, and my family, they were from the country. And they had all these sayings, that they would throw at us. And those things kind of stuck. So, I've used them with my own children, and my kids will look at me and say, you don't even know what that means. There is no meaning to that. So
I have a lot of those,
That's
too,
awesome.
growing up in a small town from Arkansas. And I kind of, they poke me on the show a little bit about
Yeah,
that.
he'll use them here, and we'll be like, you don't even know what that
Yes,
means.
I do know what that means. I do. My grandma would say them all the time.
I told Chase the other day, I says, if you don't shut up, I will beat you until the hearse arrives. And he just looked at me and goes, that is the dumbest statement. And I said, okay. So then about 4 hours later, he said, oh, so you're saying you were going to beat me until they picked me up and I was dead, right? I said, it's okay. You're pretty.
It's slow.
It's okay. You're
slow.
pretty. Who are your famous friends in Nashville that we would know?
You.
Stop it. Who's the
Bobby
real ones?
Bones.
Who are the famous ones?
Dolly, Reba.
Can you call Dolly? Can you just call Dolly?
I wish I could call
Okay.
Dolly. Jay DeMarcus, Gary, Jodine, Luke, Caroline. You just had Caroline on. We know just about everyone. And Nashville has been so welcoming to us, and we really love Nashville. We love the people here.
Tell me, because this growing up Chrisley, what's the difference in Chrisley Knows Best, which is, I think you've shot that already, and you're shooting Growing Up Chrisley right now?
No, we're still in production on Chrisley Knows Best right now. Then we go into production.
Okay, I'm confused,
Growing Up
Todd. Just tell me just tell me about Growing Up Chrisley.
Growing Up Chrisley is a lot more about Chase and Savannah being out on their own. They're both pursuing different things. Savannah has a clothing line now. that's going into its second season. It's been picked up by several different stores. She's got a shoe collection coming out. Her cosmetic collection comes out in August, a fragrance. She's working nonstop. And, Chase is doing real estate down in Charleston. So what time he's not on the golf course or dating. And so it's just following them in their life and, me staying on top of them.
How in the world are you able to be the parent that you are, because you didn't have what they have, right?
No, I did not.
So, and now they're growing up with a different outlook because of the resources that they've been given way earlier.
Correct.
Like and I often think about this for when I have kids, because I grew up, I was a food stamp and a welfare kid. My kids won't be like that because and now you have kids that are living an entirely different life.
Yes, they own their own homes,
How
their
do you
cars.
parent that when you didn't live that?
I say that the hardest job that Julie and I have ever had is raising adult children. If I had my time to go over, I would have given my children far less. I think that we, as adults, when you don't come from money and you don't come from all these trappings, you want to give your child everything that you didn't have, that you sat around and said, one day I hope I have that. And I think that we do those kids an injustice when we do it. I think that we strip them of their drive and their hunger of going out here and doing it on their own. So if I had my time to go over, and I was asked this last week, Todd, what would be the one thing you would do different? The one thing I would do different is I'd have kept my money to myself, and I would have made them work part-time jobs.
Nice. So I'm making note here when you have kids. Todd Chrisley's here. We're going to play Jake Owen Homemade. If you guys want to hop on, you can. 877-77-Bobby. 877-77-Bobby. Todd Chrisley from Chrisley Knows Best, Growing Up Chrisley, The Chrisley Chronicles, Chrisley Confessions, Chrisley.com. Our guest host today is Todd Chrisley from Chrisley Knows Best and Growing Up Chrisley, and the podcast called Chrisley Confessions. What do you guys do on the podcast that you don't do on the shows?
The podcast was set up, Chrisley Confessions, so that we could actually use it as a platform to discuss things that we couldn't discuss on the show. If there was something in the media that was being reported falsely, we could talk about it. If there was a topic that we are not allowed to discuss on the show, then we discuss it on Chrisley Confessions. And I try to be very transparent. If there's something that we've gone through, I don't hide it. I put it out there. And then I let you know how we got through it. And hopefully that will help you if you have to go through the same thing. So, Chrisley Confessions is really about people calling in with questions on things that's going on with their children or their marriage or just in life in general. People call in with political questions. People call in with financial questions. It's just questions that people have that they don't feel comfortable asking people around them.
I have a lot of people on the phone who love the show, and I always wonder, people that are on a show that people are passionate about, like, what in the world do you watch? Like, if I were to say, give me your 3 shows right now?
Probably, This Is Us is one of them.
Are you into Love is Blind yet?
No, I haven't watched that. A Million Little Things I love, and Billions.
So I never watched Billions, but everybody I know that watched it loved it.
I love Billions.
So that's the guy, the red-haired guy from,
Homeland.
Homeland, yes.
So what's Billions about?
Billions
Your life? Is it the true life story of Todd Chrisley?
I wish. Billions is about, it's nothing but narcissism. It's just narcissism at its finest. It's excess. It's, just the love of money and thinking that money is going to solve every problem. And I look at it from the perspective of, wow, how dumb can this be? And then you've got Chase watching it at 23. Dude, Bobby Axelrod is the man. He just spent $100 million. I'm like, Chase, it's a television show.
Right. Bobby Axelrod's not real.
Exactly.
Right.
Which one's Bobby Axelrod?
It's the ginger, the guy from Homeland.
Yeah. And he's like foreign. Is he American in this show?
Yeah.
Because like in real life, he talks like, and I'm like, oh my goodness, the guy's.
That's what when we first discovered that when he was on Homeland, because he's all like American, like
Damian
Homeland,
Lewis, yeah.
serving our country, crazy, and then he has an accent. was rough.
The Walking Dead guy too.
Yeah.
First time he went on, he's like, I might good eye. I'm like, no, you're from Atlanta. You're fighting zombies in Atlanta.
Like a
Why are you
sheriff.
talking like that?
Yeah.
Everybody out there listening now, we appreciate you. And let me say this too, is that, we have this Pimp and Joy line of clothing that we do. We're not keeping any of the money. We never do, by the way. We never kept $1 in the history of Pimp and Joy. Been able to raise millions of dollars. But for us, we're able to work with, right now, the tornado relief. So if you go to bobbybones.com, you can even see us on camera today, facebook.com/BobbyBonesShow. Amy and I are wearing 2 of the sweatshirts, and we're writing checks quick. So if there's something you've been thinking about doing, you want a shirt right now that will go to help the people all through Tennessee that have been hit by the tornadoes. So bobbybones.com and click the button, the Pimp and Joy button there, and you can help. And if you don't have money, you have time. There's a lot of things that you can do, and we appreciate you guys for doing all of that. Todd Chrisley has been in for an hour filling in as guest host. Let me ask you a question, Todd. They say text message etiquette. If you get a text and you see it, what is your responding time? Is it immediate or something? Do you wait?
My response time is normally within minutes.
Will you ever leave one dotted up to make sure you see it later?
I'm normally not checking my phone if I'm filming or if I'm in a conversation with someone, because I think it's rude to be conversing with someone and then focusing on your phone. But once that text message comes in and I'm at my phone, I respond within a minute of me having it.
What if you send someone a text and let's say it's 12 hours, you don't hear from them?
Well, that's not going to happen with me, because I would have already sent you back a text message and said, have you lost your mind? I sent you a message 7 minutes ago. Give me an answer.
The proper etiquette, they say that it's 1 day. You have 1 day to text back or it's rude.
No, it's rude way before 1 day. I mean, why would you think that, who thinks that they can make someone wait for a day like that person has nothing else to do with their life?
I feel the same way. And people know me that I have my phone all the time.
Right.
And if I'm not back at you within 15 minutes, I'm either working out or asleep or just not wanting to get to your text message.
Right.
Because I'm here. And the other thing I do is I send voice memos to everybody.
Right.
And where you just push the button and talk into your phone.
Right.
And I'm in that stage of, is it super annoying or is it super convenient? And it's kind of torn here amongst the group, because I'll send a 2-minute message and they have to listen to it all. You can't just look at it.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't be friends with you on as far as texting goes.
But I'm pretty
because
funny
that's-
on there, Todd.
Yeah, I know you are, but it's just annoying for me to have to listen to it.
It's your own personal show, though, Todd. It's like me just doing a little bit for you. It may be extra fun. You don't know, Todd.
Well, Bobby doesn't too. His thing is, if you don't ask a question, then he doesn't really have to reply back or acknowledge it.
If you just say, hey, I'll see you at 6 p.m., period.
Right.
Why do I have to reply? Okay, I'll see you at 6. No, it's a statement. It's understood. You stated your statement.
Well, I'll tell you like Savannah tells me, no, it's not understood. If I say I'm going to meet you at 6 p.m., you need to come back and say confirmed.
Yeah.
What are we on, walkie-talkies in the 1960s?
Over and
Copy.
out.
Yeah.
Roger that.
Yeah, breaker. Let's go to Tara real quick in Boston, who is on with Todd Chrisley. Hey, Tara, how are you?
Good. Good morning, studio.
Morning.
Morning, Todd.
Good morning.
Yes, Julie had expressed some interest on the show about opening a restaurant in Nashville. I was wondering if you could give an update on that.
We are in negotiations on a building downtown right now. And we might be able to get a better deal now. I don't know. But that negotiations has gone slowly regarding kind of what we can put there, because it's closer to a school. So we do not have the location as of yet, but it is something that she's still moving forward with.
Okay, great.
Anything you'd like to, any money you'd like to invest in this building, Tara? Or you're just wondering? You're going to come to it?
No, I wish I could, but I would like to say that Chase and Nanny Faye are my favorite. I love the Ride or Die.
I love that. Thank you so much for watching.
Let me ask you a question about that, Todd. When someone calls and goes, hey, Todd, love the show, Chase is my favorite.
Well, that doesn't happen often.
Okay.
Normally it's Todd is my favorite. I'm kidding. But listen, I love that. I mean, our show, we were in looking at, new data on the show. We've been on the air. This is going in the 8th season. Shows start aging out. And the studies that came back said our show is grabbing younger audiences. It's not aging out. And I think that that's attributed to, and I think, the demographic that we cover is 13 to 84. So we're hitting every key demographic.
Yeah, that's every demo.
Yes, we're hitting every key demographic. And, we have brought the largest African-American viewership to USA, the largest Hispanic viewership to USA. And, when you start seeing that and you realize that it's because there's someone, when you think about hitting every demographic, our show, in our family, we have every key demographic. My mother's 75, I'm 51, Julie's 46, Chase is 23, Savannah's 22, Grayson's 13, Chloe's 6. So, we are hitting a lot of those demographics. So, I love that everyone has their fan favorite.
Savannah tweeted this out. Is it okay if I read this out?
I don't know what she's tweeted.
No, not in the past few minutes.
Oh, okay.
It says justice is moving slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about this?
Yes,
tweet? Okay,
I do.
Can I bring it up?
You can.
Okay. Savannah tweets out, justice may move slowly, but at least it's moving in the right direction. This is the man who has tried to destroy our family along with hundreds of other Georgia taxpayers. # all in God's time.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about what has happened here.
In 2017, we were notified that we owed taxes in the state of Georgia. And, we have accountants that deal with all this kind of stuff. And so I called the accountant and I said, what is this about? And he says, it's not true. You don't owe any taxes. Well, you listen to your accountant. And so I said, send me something in writing confirming this. So he sends me an email. And then this guy here, Joshua Carl Waits, who was the chief of police for the Georgia Department of Revenue, he comes after us saying that we owe $2.2 million in taxes to the state of Georgia. I had accountants in Florida, accountants in Georgia. They're all getting together. They're like, this guy's out of his mind. So, but because we're on television, it made headlines. It's what people wanted to hear. Not that they wanted to hear it, but, our names, it sells clicks. And so I fought back. I hired attorneys, and I filed a lawsuit against the state of Georgia and against this rogue investigator here, Joshua Carl Waits. Well, when my attorneys did an open records request, which means you get everything, we found emails of where he was working with the media, telling them that, we've got a big celebrity that we're going to take down. And he did so many illegal criminal things to do this. And we have spent a lot of money to take him out of his position. And yesterday he was forced to resign because of the evidence that we had uncovered, that he was committing crimes within the Department of Revenue. He was stealing from slush funds that they had there. He was sending emails amongst other people, say it would be a picture of me in an episode of Chrisley Knows Best, and then he would be kind of striking the same pose. And then it was a picture of our bed that we used in season 1 through 3, and he's transposed himself in that bed. And so we got all these photographs, and he was let go, and there's going to be more to come out of that here in the next couple of weeks.
You feel like in the end, it's all going to come out, and you're going to be able to say, this is just somebody going after us because...
Well, we've already done that. That's been proven.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's already out there. You can Google that. It went from $2.2 million to $70,000. We paid the $70,000, and the only reason we paid the $70,000 is because we wanted to file the lawsuit, and we couldn't file the lawsuit while that was still pending. And the only reason the $70,000 was paid is because the Georgia Department of Revenue, this individual here, determined that deductions that my accountants had taken in 2009, they were going to disallow $70,000. So we paid the $70,000 on a Friday and sued them on Monday.
Well, I have a lot of those words. I don't even know what they mean, to be honest with you. I just was kind of listening to some words. I wasn't even going to bring it up, but I just saw Savannah had tweeted it, and I know you just say whatever's out there. So
I do.
Well, listen, I'll say this, Todd. I've really enjoyed our hour we spent together.
Thank you. I always enjoy being around you.
I know that 5 o'clock in the morning when you woke up this morning is not the favorite time to wake up in the morning.
5 a.m. is a little early for me because I don't go to bed until like 1. So 5's a little early.
What in the world do you do until 1 o'clock in the morning?
Bobby, I manage everyone in the family. So, I mean, I'm trying to deal with whatever Savannah's got going on, which is a lot. And then the storylines that we're covering in the show and getting ready for another season of Growing Up Chrisley. And, I've got, as I told you, DeMarcus Rules, which is Jay DeMarcus's new show on Netflix. And then I've got another show that I'm working on with my mother, 50 Ways to Kill Nanny Faye. And
why do you need all this money, Todd? It's all I hear is ching, 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 ching. Like, come
Bobby,
on, what?
No, I'm hearing him talk. First of all, you would stay up till 1 a.m. if you could, 2 a.m. maybe. You work all day long. You're developing shows like crazy. Like, what?
Let me just say stuff to Todd over here.
I think you're just looking in the mirror
Let me just
right
say
now.
stuff to Todd over here.
Like, hello.
So I have a lot to do. And so, we normally don't finish filming until like 6 o'clock in the evening. And then from 6 o'clock in the evening until sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm doing emails and responding and putting things together and launching this CBD brand and these beverages that are coming out. And then we have Brass Rabbit, which is our non-alcohol wine. And we've just got a lot of stuff going on.
Look at you. Look at you.
Bobby, we need to get you some of that Brass Rabbit.
I'm going to send Bobby
ow.
some Brass Rabbit.
Here's the thing, Todd.
little.
I've never tasted wine.
Mm-hmm. I haven't either.
And this is non-alcoholic wine.
That's
If
right.
I were to drink this and it was so good, I'd be like, let me just go a little bit farther.
Try the real stuff.
Let me just go a little bit farther.
Bobby worries about the same things that I worry about. But Bobby, let me tell you something. It really is a wonderful product. And, I started with this because Chase was out socially drinking. And we didn't approve of it because we've never drank. It's never been in our home. And so, I had created something that and sat down with him and said, listen, this is not what you come from. We would prefer that you not drink. And, let's stop. And he didn't listen to me. And so that was something that I said, okay, now it's time to do something. So I came up, with a slogan for him, and it was called Sober's the New Sexy. And, in the research that we were doing, we found that the millennials are tapering back on their consumption of alcohol and that they drink in order to be social. And so, basically what I came up with was social but in control. That's who you are. You appreciate fun and fine wine. You're social and in control. Brass Rabbit, the non-alcoholic wine that includes everyone.
You're telling me, Todd, that sober is sexy.
I do.
I am so hot. I am so hot right now. Damn, Friday nights, I could not get hotter. All right, Todd. Hey, Todd Chrisley, here he is. Hey, let's
Thank
bring
you
in his
very
parting
much.
gift. Todd,
Yes.
sometimes we'll go into our prize closet and grab something that this had your name on it today. And so we have you a board game called, what's it called? Spontaneous, because you're so freaking spontaneous.
Scuba Steve, thank you so much.
We signed it. There he is, Todd Chrisley.
Thank you.
Hey, we love you. Thank you very
buddy.
much.
Thank you for having me.
And goodbye to Todd. And here's Kane Brown. Bobby Bone Show. Dixie Chicks called Gaslighter. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Last night, the Walking on Wire show was on.
Yeah, over a volcano.
Nick Walinda, who, by the way, I think Mike D is in the other room interviewing him right now.
He is?
Yeah.
He's on the phone with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We'll put it on our post-show podcast. So when you listen to this back, there's a lot to check in with.
That's cool.
Todd Chrisley was our guest host today.
So good.
But also Mike D talking to Nick Walinda. We couldn't time it just right, and they called us last minute, and they were like, "Do you want Nick?" And we were talking to Amber from Netflix, and we had a song to play, and I was like, "Mike D, you go do it real quick." So we'll put it on the podcast. But I'm assuming he lived because he's on the phone with Mike D right now.
He lived. Yes.
Yeah.
But he had a harness on, right?
Yeah, he was never going to die.
Now, we don't want anyone to die, but does it lose a little bit of luster if there's no chance that he's going to fall in the volcano?
For sure. And I think last night they made it a little more dramatic than it should have because then they were like, all right, he can't fall into the volcano, but the gases that the volcano's coming, like the smoke and everything, could get to his respiratory system, and it could. I mean, it could be really bad.
He could die on the wire.
Right.
But guys, harnesses fail. There's always
Oh, boy.
but there's always that risk that he's facing death by doing it because I mean, you just never know. He could fall and the harness malfunctions.
Here is Volcano Live with Nick Walinda. Nick says his eyes are burning above the volcano.
His family gathering around, people from Nicaragua all gathering around. We have witnessed history as well.
A walk into history, Nick Walinda. Congratulations.
I feel like Nick should give a final rose since Chris Harrison's doing the commentating there.
He found his future wife.
Yeah. How was the show?
Yeah, man. It was cool to see. Props to him. What he made history. Good for him. But this is how chill he was.
He walked across this wire.
He's walking across the wire over a volcano, and there was a drone over it, so it looked really cool. You can see the lava underneath his feet. Scary, yes. Had a harness on. He was so chill, Bones, that he's promoting his book. He was singing songs.
Nice.
He's walking the wire saying, guys, check out my new book. It's at Barnes & Noble.
I got a CBD line right now. Hey, Mike, did you talk to him?
Yeah.
Gonna be up on the podcast?
Yeah, I just talked to him.
What was the deal?
I wanted to know what would happen if he fell, and he told me.
What, the harness holds him?
Well, he says he's not gonna rely on the harness. He's gonna grab onto the tightrope, and hang on there.
Okay, well, listen to that on this podcast. I'll say this, by the way, our Pimp and Joy line is up as we raise money for people that were hit by the tornado all through Tennessee, because outside of Nashville and Putnam County and Cookeville, they got hit really, really hard. Really hard.
Yeah.
And I think because Nashville is the city that people know, it's getting a lot of the attention. And we're obviously helping here, but we're also wanting to shine the light there as well. And there are still 20 people missing there. And so what we're doing is putting these shirts up, these hoodies, and right now we're at $57,000 raised from you guys. And we don't keep any of the money. We never have kept $1 from Pimp and Joy. We will never keep $1 from Pimp and Joy. And if you want to find a different way to donate, that's great. If you want to donate time, that's great. But if you are looking for a way to not only give back, but also, have a piece of merch that represents an idea.
Yeah, you can wear it proudly knowing you bought that and it went towards spreading joy to people that really, really need it, because that's what it's all about. And it'll be a reminder when you wear it to choose joy for yourself. Like I'm seeing a lot of these people on the news do, even in Cookeville, that lost everything, and they still are they're an inspiration to me, because they're reminding me in my little things, like if they can be on the news and still have gratitude and joy for life and seeing the good, even when they've lost everything. And that's what this shirt can be a reminder of to you too, to choose that for yourself, but also to spread joy to others.
And we also just, want to be transparent with you guys and let you guys know how much money we're raising, because when we donated,
it's because of you.
It's because of you guys, yeah. And right now, as a team, just from yesterday to today, we've raised $57,000 through our Pimp and Joy line. So you can go to bobbybones.com and see that and buy that if you want. Again, if you can't, get it too. But, you can also donate time. Or if you can donate neither here, you can find places to actually give back that has nothing to do with this. It's just always about trying to help somebody else out if they need the help. So there you go. What else? Alex Trebek, did you hear the update he gave about his cancer?
No.
Here is Alex Trebek's cancer update.
There were moments of great pain, great depression that made me wonder if it really was worth fighting on. But I brushed that aside quickly, because that would have been a massive betrayal. A betrayal of my wife and soulmate, Jean. And it would certainly have been a betrayal of my faith in God and the millions of prayers that have been said on my behalf.
So he's happy to report that 1 year mark, which less than 20% of people that had his diagnosis get to.
Wow. I just got goosebumps.
The 2-year survival rate is just 8%. But he said if we take it just one day at a time, like he said there, positive attitude, anything is possible. So there you go. Dang. Look at that guy. Yeah, it's tough because we don't know Alex Trebek, but you feel like you know Alex Trebek because he's been
in our life forever.
And even if you don't watch Jeopardy every day, he's always been around.
You know who he is, yeah.
That is the deal. BobbyBones.com to get in on the Pimp and Joy. Thank you, guys. Yesterday, I was up here and I'm doing this kind of acting podcast that I haven't talked about yet, and Dennis Quaid is directing it. Dennis Quaid, the big movie star.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So it was Dennis Quaid and I hanging out up here. And I think we took some outtakes of it because I can't play the podcast, I don't think. Right, Mike? No. So here's Dennis Quaid giving me directions during the podcast. Letter to Me by Brad Paisley.
I told you, girl. All right, let's do it one more time. Got it. This time, try to do it like Bobby Bones, okay?
What does that mean?
I don't know. But
did he think you just weren't yourself enough?
I don't know. But he was a nice guy. We did this thing, and I was having to read the credits at the end. And again, this is just like little outtakes. It's the only part we could play back. Here's Dennis Quaid making a joke about how to read his name in the credits.
Okay, let's do it again. And when it comes to executive produced for audio by Dennis Quaid, really slow that down.
You got it. Dennis Quaid. And put some reverb on it, too.
All right.
It was good. He's good. He was fun. We came in for about an hour and kind of read through.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, big Hollywood guy. I didn't ask him about is he married to her, the girl that's 30 years younger than him?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't ask him?
Huh? Girlfriend? I didn't ask him.
Oh.
He didn't want to go there.
I know.
Dang, you should just
No,
been
I
like,
just forgot.
No, you should say like, hey, I got a girlfriend. She's 27, 28. What's up?
Well, yeah, but he's a lot older than
Are
I
they
am.
friends? I know.
That's funny. Does she know? Are they Instagram friends? Let's see. A man jailed for murdering his wife finds her after 7 years living with her lover.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
He was put in jail for murdering his wife, except she wasn't dead.
Wow, he got convicted, no body?
Amy watched too many. Amy watches too many murder podcasts.
Wow. Wow. There must have been a lot of evidence there.
This man was charged with murdering his wife 7 years back. He even spent a month in jail for the crime while all of his claims of innocence fell deaf. On Monday, he was proved not guilty after police nabbed his dead wife and her lover. He married her back February 7th, 2013. But only after 2 months of marriage, she went missing from his house. He launched a frantic search, couldn't find her. Later, he lodged a missing persons complaint. This other person claimed that her body was dumped after killing. It was a whole thing.
No.
But then they found her.
So did she stage the whole thing?
After 2 months of marriage, she fled her in-laws' house and eloped with her new lover.
Yeah.
Both fled and stayed hiding for 7 years. She also gave birth to a son and daughter.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy, man.
A guy passed his driver's tests, and he looked down at some text from his friends congratulating him. He's like, hey, and then he crashed his car into the river.
Same day.
New driver crashes his car into a river 10 minutes after passing driving test. The inexperienced driver was reading text messages from friends congratulating him on passing his exam when he took his eyes off the road. Then the driver made a wrong turn onto a bridge and into the river.
Oh my god.
I got into a wreck the first week I got my driver's license.
What?
Motorcycle hit me.
Did it hit you or did you hit
Everybody
him?
always hits you.
No, he hit me. I was doing nothing. Even my mom was so scared. She's like, oh my gosh, you don't even have your license yet. It's a paper.
Yeah.
She's like, keep going. I'm like, no, we got to stop.
Their fault.
Their fault. I was turning in the right lane and he was trying to pass another car behind me. Didn't see me, hit my bumper, flew.
You guys
Scary.
can hop on and listen to the podcast from today's show. Just go over and search Bobby Bones Show on demand. Our guest co-host today was Todd Chrisley from Chrisley Knows Best. Yesterday, Trooper Johnson, Marine State Trooper, protects the governor. That was a really good one, too. So check
good.
those out. Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC was on a day. So check out all our guest hosts. It has really been awesome. On my Instagram, at Mr. Bobby Bones, I put a picture of Trooper Johnson, who was our guest host. State Trooper, former Marine, protects the governor. He let us all wear a bulletproof vest. We all took a picture together, and I got to tell you guys, we could not be dorkier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's up. Mr. Bobby Bones.
We felt cool, though.
Yeah. Speak for yourself.
Yeah, and he started punching us in the vest, and it still hurt.
If it can stop a bullet, it can obviously stop my fist.
Last night, Eddie and I, as the Raging Idiots, played the Grand Ole Opry, and I host a show called Opry, which we're bringing the Opry back to television. And so we're recording a bunch of stuff, and Dustin Lynch is playing, and he still showed up, but he was sick. And so he was like, I don't know if my voice sounds good for TV. So they gave us the call. They gave us the they called in the idiots. So we recorded a couple TV performances last night.
Nice.
Is it?
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
Thank you, Dustin.
Mm-hmm. I felt bad for him, and he still showed up. That's the thing about Dustin Lynch. Like, he could have just called in sick completely, but that guy loves being a member of the Opry, and so he was like, man, I still wanted to come and play. But Eddie and I went and Raging Idiots did a couple TV performances. I think our first, except for public access.
Yeah, our first that's our first real TV performance. Wow, were we not on the iHeart Festival? No, we weren't. This is it.
No, they don't let us on stuff. Yeah, thanks, Opry. That's great. Woo. And last night, Terry Bradshaw was there, and I'm shooting some stuff for TV, and somebody's like heckling me in the hallway. And I'm like, who keeps, and it goes, hey, nice hair. And it was Terry Bradshaw. Do you know who that is?
Awesome.
I mean, I do now because I saw him in your stories. Different guy than I thought he was, but yeah.
You thought he was the voice of Patrick Star and SpongeBob?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different guy.
Coach.
Yeah, for Dauber from Coach back in the day.
Or whatever.
Terry Bradshaw played for the Steelers, won Super Bowls, now does NFL on Fox.
Now that's
Right.
where I see him on the sports shows
On
that
the s-
my
yes. The
sports,
husband
yeah.
watches. Yeah.
So saw him last night. He was super nice. I believe after we left, he performed. He sang.
Did he really?
he sings?
I remember like a long time ago when he was playing football, he wanted to be a country singer. He would be vocal about it. Like,
Is that right?
Yeah, even when he was a quarterback.
He's from Louisiana. So that was fun last night. We had a good night. This morning it was wild because I woke up at like 2:45, and Caitlin's flight left at 5 a.m.
Whoa.
So I had to drop her off at 4, and then come to work. So that
Look
means
at you, nice boyfriend.
yeah.
I totally saw you putting her in an Uber.
Me too, dude.
Right.
Like,
Totally.
why wouldn't you?
Why would I?
Oh.
What? Because
I'm in an extremely happy, wonderful relationship right now where I'm trying to be. What is the word?
A boyfriend.
I'm trying to be extremely deliberate
Okay.
in everything that I do because in the past I haven't been. She did give us crap yesterday, Eddie, for when we talked about playing them in basketball. They won all 3 games.
They did.
Eddie and I did not win against her and
Fair.
Ahmad. And she was like, oh, if it had been you'd have talked about the scores. Okay, they won all 3 games.
Good. You want it to be known.
Yeah.
They won all 3 games.
They won
okay?
all 3 games. Eddie and I lost.
Yes.
She's extremely competitive. But she was here for a week, and then she comes back like Wednesday or Thursday of next week. But it's great. Like, do you have any questions about that whole relationship thing? Because you're free to ask me. The door's open right now.
Okay. Well, I love that you're being intentional and even spontaneous because she was supposed to leave on Monday, was it?
Monday
or
morning.
Sunday or Monday, and then it changed, and then she was here extra.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like how was the quality time that y'all got together?
It was
'Cause
great.
it was a lot.
I cannot get enough of her right now.
That's awesome.
And
I
not-
love hearing you say that.
Good
and
stuff.
not in a new way. It's not new anymore,
Right.
but it's just really great.
That makes
Just like
me-
a purely great. It's just great. And we don't always get along perfectly. We're not supposed to. But it's great. I wish I had a better word for it. It just feels like it's just pure. Just pure. Like it's real.
that makes me happy for you. Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, she's back. What in like
Wednesday or Thursday, like a week.
a week?
Mhm.
Okay. What are you gonna? What y'all do while she's gone? FaceTime.
We FaceTime every day. We
You
talk
FaceTime
every day.
every day?
Mhm.
Okay.
But, even when she was here this time, we really didn't have any plans for anything. So she was here 6 days. The only time that we did anything, we went to Tampa to do a show. But the other 5 days, we just hung out at the house, went and ate.
Did whatever normal couples do.
all the normal stuff.
Good.
Were you sad when you dropped her off?
Well, I try not to be because she gets really sad.
Did she cry?
No, she didn't cry, but I feel her shutting down a little bit. And so I try to not be as sad because if we're both sad,
that's
then it
terrible.
just brings it all down.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to be up and she's sad. But I'm like, I get it. But when you get out of here and be sad, I'll just be excited to see you next time. But yeah. But it's good. It's really good.
You should say, hate to see you go, but love to watch you leave. Ow, ow.
Dumb.
Do you have anything you want to tell us about what you're feeling?
Oh, I think I just said it all, huh?
Yeah.
That's it.
Bones,
Okay.
do you guys talk about the future at all? Like, just can't wait till you move here, or can't wait till we live in the same city?
Well,
or,
of
you know,
course,
that?
we're not going to date long distance forever.
Yeah.
She went back to school and finishes grad school in May. And so when she finishes grad school, I think there are decisions to be made. We're definitely not going to date long distance forever. So,
She's open and willing to move to Nashville.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
I
so,
don't know
too.
about willing to move. I don't think
Right.
she wants to go like, I'm ready to move to Nashville. But yeah. But it's the first time I've ever thought about anything like that and been like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. Like somehow it's going to happen.
Yeah, because before that was definitely a thing of concern where you're just like, oh, another city. I can't do that.
Yeah, you would just say this isn't going to work out.
Yeah.
But now you're in it, so it's working.
Couple
out.
I don't know that I've
observations.
never been more in it, by the way,
You're in it.
that I've
dude.
ever been more in it.
Wow.
Yeah. What's your observation?
Just a couple of observations I saw like last night. I mean, our songs are dumb, like they're silly, comedy songs or whatever. But she knows every word to every song. We're rehearsing in the back, and I didn't know a couple of lyrics. And she's
Because
like,
I played them at the house all day over and over again.
But I mean, the thing is it's cool. Like my wife doesn't even know all the words to our songs, and she loves what you do. She loves.
I don't know if that's true.
I think she
She
does.
doesn't really listen to the show.
Yeah.
Maybe she hears about a fifth of one show a week. And I give her a hard time about that. But I think we just have good songs, Daddy. Why can't we just have good songs?
Maybe so. I read it all wrong.
My favorite song on the radio right now is this one right here. Morgan Wallen, Chasing You. Jam.
So good. My
course.
jam. Yeah, I love
I'm gonna
it.
play. I was looking for a little.
It's, well, you know it's a jam. We're just singing it off air.
All right, cool. Here you go. Check it out. Live on show.